Strap in, guys. I got a great video for you. Are you ready? Hey, all you ladies and germs, you P6 geeks, let's talk about how to create a master schedule, how to link two schedules together. Okay, we're not going to create a master schedule, but I am going to explain the concepts of how we can interlink schedules together that exist in the same database. That's what we're going to cover in this video. Let's go. Okay, here we go. I've got two projects here for you. I've got big construction job and my mod shop schedule. Okay, this is a common situation I run into where we've got some sort of shop yard, a yard shop that's making, prefab units to be installed on the actual construction job. This happens all the time. So let's check out these little schedules. Here is my construction job schedule. Okay, a design engineering, foundation work, we're building, it's some sort of, looks like a commercial building. And let's now open the mod shop. I'm keeping it pretty lean and simple to get the concepts across to you. So we got to prep for the big job project. We got to build some decking basically, and then have that decking delivered by January 5th. Okay, so let's now think of this as interlinked schedules. We don't exactly have a master schedule situation here, but we do have interlinked schedules, and I want to open them both together. Okay, so we highlight them both using control, and we can open them both together. Now, tips and tricks I'm going to show you. Maybe you didn't know this, but if you wanted, say, big construction project up at the top, you can reorder how the projects show up in your list. On the WBS screen, you have to go to the WBS screen, you can either move one up or down. Again, little tricks for you. Don't know what it's going to look like when you open both of them on your screen. Okay, so we're doing our decking build in the mod shop, and I want to deliver it on January 5th. We're going to link this finish milestone to the structure work. Floor decking. This is where that decking gets installed in the structure. And right here we have floor decking delivered on site. Now let me order this properly. That's a little nicer. Sort this and now things land properly. Okay, let's go ahead and put that link in. So I always like to link successors. So I'm going to go here from my delivered decking, and I'm going to click assign successor. You know what? I've got an easier way. I'm going to actually just highlight this guy and then scroll down, holding control. That's how I like to do it. Now I've got them both highlighted, and then I right click and do link. That's kind of my favorite way of doing things. So now when I check out the the relationships tab, I can see that I have a link here from A1040. So that's going to be one of our indicators and should be one of the things you consider when you're setting up Interproject Linking. Make sure you have vastly different activity IDs. So on my mod project, I have A's, and in this project, I have bigs. So now I can quickly see that, oh, this is an A activity ID, it comes from another project. Unfortunately, if you look at the fields here and even scrutinize other fields, there's nothing in here, there's no field that says this comes from a different project, like a checkbox or anything. There is the project ID. So I mean, if you wanted, you could put the project ID up there and you would see this comes from mod shop versus big job. But it doesn't, again, for me, I want a big, bright indicator saying, hey, other project being linked here. P6 doesn't do that, unfortunately. So again, use project ID or use different activity IDs to really highlight that fact. Okay, let's talk about the scheduling aspects of this now. So what I want to do is I want to now schedule this work. You can see the difference in dates. We have this being December 1st, and if we come up here, right now we have January 26th. And one of the things we could do to really highlight this is we could actually baseline these projects and then show the baseline milestones on the screen, and then we could really see the differences. But you know what? We're pretty savvy here. We're not going to need to do that to see the differences. We got January 5th. So let's go ahead and schedule both projects together. Now I do want to note that I'm using Primavera 20.12, which has some new features that are helping to manage interlinked schedules a little bit better, or just scheduling multiple schedules at the same time a little bit better. So that's why my screen here looks a little different. And here we're going to select all projects use their own data date. It doesn't matter because our data date isn't really a big factor here, but let's just schedule and see what happens. There's no change here to my mod shop schedule, but mod shop should now be driving. Let's go down here. We'll use the go to. It is now driving this activity and forcing it to start on January 5th. Okay, so you can see that this is a driving relationship from mod shop, and that forced a change. Now what happens if I change one schedule? As you can imagine, if I adjusted this constraint and moved my mod shop schedule out, rescheduled, it would again drive changes in the big construction job. Okay, now what if I'm just working with one project? So for example, let's just open mod shop on its own, okay? And if I make a change to mod shop, like I said, let's move this, I'll just drag it over here, okay? If I make that change and schedule it, now I have January 14th as my driving date. Did that change big construction schedule? Let's go find out. Big job, open that guy up. And here is my floor decking. No, it didn't change it. But, and this is one of the tricky things about this situation, if I schedule this project right now, it did change it, okay? So why am I concerned about that? I'm concerned about things changing on my schedule without me being aware of it, okay? So when you do interlinked projects, you do have to be aware of what's going on and what might be forcing dates to change. It could be these relationships. Okay, so now you've got a glimpse at how these interlinked project schedules work. I do want to highlight that there are a couple snafus, things that might really complicate your life. So I want you to really consider whether this is a good idea before you go ahead and do it. One of the things that often happens is the relationships between projects get broken, okay? Especially if I am exporting a project and sending it to another database and re-importing it, it's common that those relationships get broken. And if you've done a lot of those relationships, you're going to be in real deep water and real trouble. I have lots of people come to me and say, hey, all my external relationships broke because I sent it to another contractor to update, and when they exported it, there are some export session settings or some import settings that make sure you want to keep those relationships, okay? That being said, this can really be a problem for some people, so make sure you want to go down this path before that. The other thing is, like I said, these relationships are hard to find visibility on, okay? They're not super obvious that I have links between schedules. That being said, if you're in control of both schedules, then you're probably safe, okay? But if you are handing off control of another schedule to an outside entity, I would really think this one through a little bit. Okay, now I want to show you one thing. I actually did export these guys to XCR, and if I open one in Schedule Reader, have a look at this. In Schedule Reader, this is the mod shop, and it actually has the other project, but just the one activity from the other project in it. So that's kind of how it keeps that relationship alive. Or that's how it logs that relationship inside the XCR file if you want. There you have it. That's how you can use P6 to link or interlink projects together. I hope this shed some light on this for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in another video. Michael, out.